my timer here because I do speak. I'm very long-winded. For those that don't know me, my name is Sigifredo Gonzalez Jr. I was your sheriff for 17 and a half years from 1994 until I decided to retire in 2012. I can sit here and tell you a whole bunch of things that I did, and I am going to tell you some of the things that I did. I also want to tell you some of the things that I want to do. My record, as many people say, speaks for itself. I did many things for the county. One, because I am a very strong believer in helping our victims of crime, our elderly, our youth, and especially with upholding the Constitution of this country of ours that so many men have fought and died for and protecting. What I want to do is introduce part of my family. My wife is up here in front, Carmen. My son, our daughter couldn't make it. Got two uncles here and an aunt and a whole bunch of friends. I'm about to start introducing everybody. I'll use up all my 5 minutes of my time. I do want to tell you guys what I've done. Again, I was your sheriff, and what are some of the things that I've done. I started my career when I was 20 years old. At the time that I started my career, the federal law required that I be 21 years of age to be able to purchase a weapon or bullets. However, the state law permitted me to be a police officer at 18. So for almost a year, I was a deputy sheriff with a weapon, not in violation of any law, but I was not old enough under federal law to be a police officer, but I was under state law. I did start again at the age of 20. From then, as a deputy sheriff, I went to work for a few years in the Department of Public Safety as communications specialist. Didn't like that, came back to Zapata, and was the first ever investigator for the county attorney's office in the history of Zapata County. Well, there I spent 13 and a half years there. I was assigned to the DEA task force as a team leader for Zapata County. I was in charge of the DEA task force in Zapata. In 1994, I was appointed sheriff, and I retired in, again, 2012. I decided not to seek re-election. Why did I seek not to seek re-election? Real simple. After 35 years with the retirement system, my take-home pay retired was more money than my salary as a sheriff. So therefore, my $40,000 take-home pay as a sheriff, I'd be making $46,000 retired and $40,000 compared as a sheriff. So I decided it was time to spend some time with the family. Time that I did not get too much of a chance to spend when I was a sheriff, because on many occasions we had to get out of the car already ready to go on vacation time, but I had to leave because, or stay rather, because I had a duty to do, to withhold, or to uphold rather, my oath that I took when I became sheriff. Got to give you an idea as to why I decided not to seek re-election. Did I make the right choice? I thought I had, and I thought I want to be here and criticizing, but I think that the choice that I made, or rather the person that we chose to be the sheriff, in my opinion, was not the right choice. I made a mistake. Why do I want to be sheriff again? I want to correct that mistake. I want to come back here and do things the way they used to be done. When we were, instead of being the laughing stock, we were the envy of many agencies across the state of Texas in the equipment that we had. The salaries we had, the overtime mission that we had like one time, there's 254 counties in Texas. One year, ladies and gentlemen, we were the county that got the most money in grants than any other county in the state of Texas. How is that done? By having a sheriff that go out there and lobby for the money, bring back the money. Every trip we made, we brought back the money. Those things I'm very, very proud of. Another thing also, I want to continue to provide good, honest, effective law enforcement for the victims of crime. Like I mentioned earlier a while ago, the children, the elderly, our veterans. Too many veterans have gone to war to defend the flag, our flag. Some can come back missing arms, missing legs. Some have come back maybe in transfer cases. Some are still buried in some jungle somewhere. All because protecting the flag, protecting our Constitution. I'm a strong believer in that. I've always said it, and I'll continue to say it. Therefore, when people violate people's rights, especially the individuals that are sworn to withhold those rights, then somebody must step up and prevent that from happening. I want to do that. I want to continue doing that. I want to continue seeking the federal grants, the state grants. Taxpayers of Zapata County, you, us, we have not purchased not one single patrol car with taxpayers' money since 2005. All the cars you see out there, ladies and gentlemen, were purchased with grants. In 6 years, my employees and myself were able to secure over $10 million in grants to purchase the equipment that's being used now, currently being used, the patrol cars. Again, commissioners have not purchased a single penny in equipment for the sheriff's office as it pertains to Homeland Security than we did with those grants that we got. I want to continue having an open door policy, and I'm going to speed it up, Mr. Arambula. I know I'm 5 times. I want to continue to have a true open door policy. When you want to talk to the sheriff, you'll talk to the sheriff. Continue to be the way it used to be. Whenever you see me at the store, you talk to me. When you see me at a funeral, you talk to me. When you see me at a dance, you talk to me. I want to continue with that open door policy we used to have. I also want to continue giving the salaries for the employees the way we used to do it. I also want to make sure we have equity in salaries. Not hire some people to work on Facebook accounts and be paid as a jailer when we need the jailers in the jail. We need to make sure that does not happen again. It never did happen during my administration. I will establish good working relationships with federal, state agencies, and local agencies. I want to be able to give permission to the school police department to use the radio tower and the jail and the equipment that the county has for the betterment and protection of our kids in our schools, not prevent them from using the equipment the way they're doing right now. Much has been done, ladies and gentlemen. Much needs to be accomplished. I want to ask you, hopefully we will have more time a little bit to answer some of your questions. In the meantime, there's been issues that need to be asked, need to be addressed, many issues that need to be answered. Some people are talking about the Hartley case, about problems that I have with DPS and problems so on and so forth. I invite you to sit here, and after this forum, we can sit in some corner out there or outside the building if y'all want, and I'll be more than happy to answer any question you may have related to my integrity, related to my professionalism, and related to my honesty. In that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to close, because I've already gone over a little bit over my 5 minutes. I do want to tell you this, in case we don't have a closing, is this quote from Stephen Gourlay. Stephen Gourlay was a French Quaker missionary in the 18th and 19th centuries who showed deep interest in education, conditions in hospitals and prisons, and provisions for the poor, and in other social problems. He stated this: I expect to pass through this world but once. Any good thing, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to my fellow creature, let me do it now. Let me not neglect or defer it, for I shall not pass this way again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. I invite you to please lend me your vote, lend me your confidence, lend me your trust again to continue to be your sheriff again, and make sure we have a better Zapata County for everybody involved. Thank you.